Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tawnya Love, and welcome to the Tawnya Love Show. I'm so excited that you're joining us today and that you took time from your busy schedule because I know many of you have things going on. So, thank you so much for taking a little time to improve your own life and to come connect with us. This week, I'm feeling an intuition to just focus on the laws of attraction. And yesterday, I led a workshop on the laws of attraction, and we created vision boards, which was really fun. And I had a few students come out, and we just played and I think I still have glue under my fingernails today, but we had such a good time. And I was, as I was creating these vision boards with them, and we were just talking about our dreams and our goals, and um, I was kind of bouncing ideas off of them to help them understand where they are maybe tripping up when they're trying to manifest. And so I asked them questions to get to know what's going on with them. And the common denominator was that they have a goal, they have a dream, and they get impatient, they get frustrated when that dream's not manifesting fast enough, and then they go into self-doubt and they start feeling helpless or hopeless. Oh, I could never make that happen. It'll never happen. And so I was very proud of them for being so honest because part of our evolution and our healing is coming from our honesty. And if we can't really be honest with where we're tripping ourselves up, where we're sabotaging our goals, then we're going to stay stuck in that land of denial. So I encourage you, if you are struggling in some way, have the courage to admit and acknowledge that you are a participant in that struggle and to tune into that in a way of exploration rather than to judge yourself because you're struggling. Say you're sick or your money's not where you want it to be, your relationships aren't what you want them to be. We can easily get triggered by our ego and go into this self, destructive mode where we're just having this inner dialogue of doubt and inner conflict, and we're not loving ourselves and we're questioning our abilities as creators. And if you can really catch that, that is the first step. It's just catching that with awareness, really tuning in and thinking, wait a minute, why did I just say I suck at this? Like, why would I say that? Why would I affirm to the universe how bad I am at something? Rather than maybe I could tune in and what would be a higher thought? Okay, let me feel this. How about every moment I'm getting better and better at this, or I am opening up to greater awareness and wisdom. I am improving daily. Everything I desire is coming to me with ease and grace. There's a lot of affirmations that we can start to put in place of these negative, lower vibrational affirmations. And I promise you that as you catch that inner dialogue, as you catch those affirmations and you shift them, you will shift your external experience. It is the law of attraction. It is the law of the universe. So that's what we're going to talk about today is the laws of attraction. And the focus today is on manifesting miracles and what's involved in manifesting a miracle. And it's really not that you have to be this magical being that's been chosen by the angels. Like, I witness magical experiences all the time. And yes, I was called by angels to lead as a healer. But I believe that every one of us has this opportunity and this opening to connect and to create whatever they want. Like, I remember talking to Amnon one day after the show, and he was talking about how he manifested this car that he wanted. Like, what was it, Amnon? Some Jeep or something that you got, right?
It
Are you
was a
there?
ferret.
What is it?
It's an English armored car, yeah.
Okay. And so we were chatting about it, and he was sharing how he just wanted one, and he's like, I know it's going to come to me, and I'm going to get it for a good deal, and I'm just going to be patient. And do you want to share just like a quick little thing? I kind of put you on the spot, but do you want to share how you got that?
I always like the way that they look. It's like a little tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm into restoring military vehicles, but I've never had a tank.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked online, and it's a British thing. They only made about 4,000 of them. So what was my chances of seeing one?
Exactly.
And then somebody local actually had two of them, and the wife said you can only keep one.
Are you so happy that wife said that?
So, of course. So I bought it from him, and it was fun for many years.
Awesome. And it just sort of, you put your focus out there, you set the intention.
Yep.
And then it came, you found it.
Right.
So when that process was happening, was there several months of a process where you put out your feelers, you're looking, and you're patiently waiting to find it?
I would say it was probably a few years.
Okay, so it could be years, months. So as you're in that process, did you remember keeping a positive attitude about it? Like,
Always that.
it's gonna come.
I always thought about it. I said, one of these days I'm going to have one of them. One of these days I'm going to have one of them.
Perfect.
And it
And
and
you
I knew
got
it
it.
when I saw it. I knew it.
Yes. So that is a perfect way to describe. I wanted to use your situation because it took him a couple years to manifest this car he wanted. Does he need this tank? Did you need it, Amnon?
No.
Nope. And did you get it anyway?
I got it anyway, and I got it for a lot less than what I thought it would be.
Exactly. And so the point I'm making with that is that sometimes people think, you know, people get things they want because they're lucky or they were born into a rich family or, you know, like everything good comes to them but not me. They think that it has to come instantaneously. This, I think it's part of our societal thing where we're just so into instant gratification now that we've forgotten this like art. Actually, there's an art to patience. Like if you make a fine wine, it takes time. If you have a relationship that you feel just so in love and safe and secure in, it probably took a little time to have that feeling because it's developed over time. So a lot of times the people that struggle, like the clients I was helping, they said they got caught up in this, I need it now. And when it didn't come, instead of like Amnon focusing on, you know what, I haven't found it yet, but it's going to be mine someday. And I can feel it. And I'm going to drive that thing and I'm going to get it for a good deal. At some level, he knew that and he kept putting out that vibration and it came closer and closer and closer to him. And then he had the opportunity where it was right in his face. He sees it, how much it costs, and he had to go for it. So another thing that I see people trip up on when it comes to manifesting is they will get the car. Say you want this dream car like Amnon did, and he sees it on the internet, and then he goes, oh, I could never afford it. I can't have it. It's probably too much. My wife maybe won't let me. Like, we can go into this inner dialogue of doubt. And so what that's like energetically to the universe is like you would open the door and you said, I would love this dream of mine to come. And then the dream thing that you want, it's right in your face. And then you say, oh, I can't afford it. Slam. You slam the door right in that dream. So a lot of us really need to tune in. As a healer, what I help clients heal, the most important part of the healing I do is to help clear this deep wound of self-worth. I'm not worth it. I'm not good enough. That is at the core of all human struggle. Once that gets healed and you know you are worthy, that you do deserve, anything is, it's like a buffet. Life is like this buffet, and you know that you can just look out and say, I would like some of that, and I'll take a little of this. And it's not because you necessarily need it. Like Amnon didn't need that car, but he wanted it, and he focused on having it, and now he has it. And so you really, it's not about this thing that you think it is, where a lot of people think it's luck or it's if you're entitled, if you were born into a rich family. All of that is ego. That is not truth. Law of attraction focuses on your vibration, period. So whatever you've got going on in yourself vibrationally today is what you are sending out signals to the universe connected to. So if today you aren't feeling very well and you're in chronic thought of, oh God, I hope it's not worse. I hope it's not cancer. Oh my God, there's signs. Now I'm looking for all the symptoms. Could it be? You're really going in the wrong direction, and you're not meaning to cause yourself the suffering because maybe you just don't understand the law of attraction and how it works. But it takes a lot of awareness to stop focusing on the lack and the fear and to really focus on what we want, what we desire, so that even though it's not here yet, you're not feeling your best. You're feeling kind of weak today. You're tired. Just keep your focus and your vibration in ease. The more you can relax, go get a massage, go lay down and meditate. Just rest your body, quiet your mind, and focus on your wholeness. Focus on how awesome it's going to be to feel good again, to go outside and to just do things that maybe you took for granted until you got sick. If you're in a situation with money and today you have $50 in your bank account and you want to have $5,000 in your bank account, go and give gratitude for the 50 and feel vibrational excitement for when that 5,000 is going to be in there. Yes, the fairies are chiming.
Yep, you have a caller.
Okay. So what do we got?
Hey, Tanya, it's your beloved Ron.
Aw, hey, baby. So do you have a question?
Well, yeah, because you talked about calling it forth,
Mm-hmm.
and given our relationship, you consciously called it forth after your relationship or previous marriage and things, where I was calling something forth not consciously.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work? Knowing my soul knew that I needed something different, something better, but I didn't like physically call out to the universe. I didn't even know I didn't know that the universe would really support me then. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
and that you're understanding all that, but I never had the connection like that to where now I understand it more. So can it be done unconsciously, where you don't know what you're calling for, and then it comes in, and it's got to be something that you're just concentrating on, and it just comes forth, but you may not even logically know that.
Exactly. So that is a great question because people will unconsciously call things forth that they want and that they don't want. So, yes, can you create unconsciously? Most humans create daily unconsciously. So, the good, the bad, the ugly, they create it unconsciously often. Coming into the conscious creation is a journey of self-awareness. So a lot of times it's not necessarily just yogis and people that meditate, but often the ones that are really conscious of their creations are very aware. They have quieted the mind chatter. There's been people in sports like Michael Jordan who he used to actually meditate before games, and he would visualize that basket getting bigger and the ball being very small and very easy to put in that basket. So he was consciously focusing on what he wanted and he created it. At the same time, there were people playing that game with him that were unconsciously visualizing winning or losing. And yes, it was happening in their life. So for me, when I knew what I was leaving behind and I knew what I wanted to call in, I was powerfully focused on what I wanted and calling it in. And you, at some level, were unconsciously calling that in as well. And then when we came together, I even feel like at a soul level, we came together and I was there to help assist you in understanding that. And you were also helping me heal things where I could trust humans again. So there was this really beautiful relationship that came from us both calling for our desire. And so, yes, absolutely, you can create. If you're worrying about money today, and you're not conscious that you are, like you're busy, but you're unconsciously worrying, you'll manifest lack. So go ahead. Did you have something else you want to say?
Yeah, when I was unconsciously, trying to call something forth in the positive sense, I remember unconsciously calling in the negative. I mean, I was down quite a bit.
Yeah.
And
can you remember that's what was going on in you at the core, like when you would be, okay, I want this, but then you get into internal dialogue of, oh, I'm not good enough on this. Do you remember a feeling of that? Like some kind of deeper, I'm not worthy?
Yeah, my self-confidence, I kind of preyed on my partner's lack of confidence as well. And our daughter's the same way. Ashley was kind of the same way, just, quick to anger, quick to, oh, wow, that's just not going to work out. I mean, you've heard my pessimism sometimes. I just, you use a word for it, or, I just like, oh, well, that's not going to work. They're looking at me like, what do you mean it's not going to work? I'm like, man, you're right. Why do I even throw that out there? And I hear it at work all the time. I hear it all the time, and people just don't understand the power of that. But I did call forth a lot of negativity, and given where I am now and where we are now, I don't do that. Sometimes I fall into that a little bit, kind of like last weekend going to the company picnic, and things were just not going right. It's just traffic. It's just events and things. I'm just like, oh my God, what? No. And you're like, baby, So, and then it got better because I shifted my thought process.
Absolutely.
So it just did. So, it's definitely confirmation. Hey, thank
Yeah.
you for that. That's a great answer.
Yes, and thank you for asking. And another thing I wanted to share, Ron and I were talking last night, and he was there. It was a really great awareness that goes and connects with this topic. Is he was talking to some guy at work, and the guy was just really impressed because Ron's worked at his job for like 16 years, right?
17, yeah.
Or 17 years. And he's worked at this job all this time, and he's always in there, walks in with a good attitude. Even though he works long hours, he's done lots of overtime. But Ron, when he goes to work, he's just like, you know what? This job brings me insurance. It brings me some free time when I want to take it off. It brings me, pretty good pay because I've been here for a long time. And I go there and I embrace it with positive attitude, and I'm going to focus and do my job and do it well. And then it gives me time to go home and be with my family, and I can buy things I want. I can save money to go on trips with my beloved. And he was talking about this, and this guy at work was like negatively focused and goes to work, and he's just like, oh, I've got to go to work. And so we were talking about how the experience of these two humans, they're both going to the same place every day, but their experience so drastically different. One's focused on the positive aspects of that job and the empowerment of the job and the gratitude. So he feels good and probably gets bonuses and different things come to him and opportunities, where the other one's focused on the lack and, complains, I don't get paid enough and I'm going to leave if I don't get paid more. People want to complain and say they're depressed or they've got problems because they're not getting enough money. It's not true. Ron and I were talking about
it's not
Robin
that
Williams.
job that's going to make it better. It's not more money. It's not
It's
what
your
they can give you. It's what
attitude.
you give yourself. Yeah.
Yes. And we were making a reference like with Robin Williams, who I give so much honor to him and his family for what's going on there. But a situation like this is someone that really mirrors to us in society, someone that had pretty much everything. They had money, they had fame, they had support, they were genius, they were intelligent, they had opportunities left and right, and still focused on at some level some kind of negativity, some kind of lack, fear, insecurity. And you never know what's going on inside of a human unconsciously, because he could show the world the happiness and entertain us, but internally, this internal chatter and this internal dialogue of self-destruction and not feeling worthy, always feeling like he had to do something better, something better. I just feel like it's such a huge wake-up call to society to really pay attention that your depression has nothing to do with money, having it or not having it. Your choosing depression has to do with your focal point. It has to do with your law of attraction that you're activating. You're either focusing on all the goodness that you desire and all the goodness you have, which is bringing more to you, or you're focusing on what you don't have, and therefore you're angry about everything you do have, and you're frustrated, none of it's good enough, you're not acknowledging what you have, yet you think you need more. And it's great awareness to really see who is in charge here of your life. Your destiny is in your energy field. It's in your thoughts, your actions. Did you want to say something else, Ron?
No, that's good. That's an excellent answer. I know we talked about the Robin Williams situation, and you're right. It's an internal thing, yet so many of us look to external satisfaction, and it just can make it disappointing when it's not there.
Exactly. And a lot of times that external distraction nothing of that's going to ever fill that hole. That feeling of emptiness is something you're going to heal by facing it. By, like our show, was it last week or the week before, the gift of pain, like as you tune into that pain, as you lean into it and you express and feel it and learn from it and then release it, you start to heal this sense of emptiness. You start to rebirth the sense of self. A lot of us as children have been taught from very little age, like most of my clients, when I tune into them, like, when is the first memory you have where you were afraid, where you felt you were not going to be okay? When was the first memory you had where you thought there wasn't going to be enough money, where you started to worry about money? And it's amazing that they can tune in fast, and they're like, I was 4 years old, my parents were fighting, they were having a divorce, and they were saying that we didn't have enough, and I felt like it was my fault. And this is like a 4-year-old looking out at the world from a 4-year-old's perspective, and we take that 4-year-old, that wounded self, throughout our life if we don't heal it. And some of us that become more powerful in manifesting what we want often have focused on the healing time that was needed to heal these inner wounds so that we feel that sense of emptiness. And so, like, if Ron and I came together and he didn't do his work to heal, and I was doing everything in my side, but he's not, we probably wouldn't work out real well. But together, we come and we bounce things off like, oh, I know that I sense woundedness there. And he's like, oh, wow, let me tune into that. Oh, my God, you're right. And we heal that together. This is a really beautiful relationship compared to a lot of relationships that are, let me point out your flaws and then I'm going to judge you for them. And oh, yeah, you got them too. And we just like fight. And it's this really terrible ego battle. And it's coming from that inner child woundedness. And if we have two misaligned adults that come and enter this union to have a relationship, it's usually going to be a Lady Gaga bad romance kind of story. And if we want to have this beautiful love story, we have to love ourselves. We have to have that alignment within self. And then we can help each other. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. So I wonder, like, if Amnon never did get his tank, I wonder if he would have fallen into depression.
That's a good question. So, Amnon, what if you wouldn't have got your tank? Would you be sad and depressed and like, I don't even want to do this show?
No.
And the thing is that that can happen sometimes. You could want something and maybe it's just not for your highest good. And there's a wisdom. As a healer, I'll tell clients this a lot. I'll say, you know, I encourage you to focus on your dream, but also leave space for the universe to help you out. So you could say, I'm going to go and work at this certain company, and you're just determined. But then some part of you is kind of asking for guidance. If it's for my highest good to work at that company, help it all work out. And the universe is not bringing it to connect. It's not happening. You could be angry and frustrated and then go into depression, or you could go, wow, thank you, universe, for saving me time, because at some level I have the awareness to realize the entire universe is supporting me and knows at some level that would not be for my highest good. So if we get really balanced, we start to still call forth our dreams and we throw out the, it's like fishing, we throw out the reel, or the lure, not the reel, throw out that lure and we're like wanting to catch a fish. But if it's not for our highest good, we trust as we're steered and the boat's steered in a new direction. And we have to trust that. I mean, we don't have to. It would serve us to trust that because there is an energy and effect that wants the highest good for us. And if we learn to trust that, things open for us. If I go and I'm just stubbornly trying to beat a door open because my ego says it has to have that, I can make it happen. And people can, they do this all the time. But then I'll be in this place that's really not for my highest good. It could be maybe a relationship. I'm just determined I have to be in that relationship. And years later, I realized with awareness, wow, the universe was totally trying to steer me in another direction and I was not listening. So it's kind of a good balance to have this meditation time where we can tune in and listen and feel our own inner guidance. And then we put out our dreams and we let go and we trust that the universe will work it out for our highest good. So if it was for Amnon's highest good, that tank came in. If it wasn't, then it wouldn't come in. And it's not because he's bad or he doesn't deserve it. At some level, it wasn't something that was going to serve him. Make sense?
It's
hey, Ron.
being in the now.
Hey, Ron.
Yes.
Yes.
I can tell you one thing. I mean, this was over 10 years ago. And if I didn't get it then, I would still be looking today.
Because he knew he wanted it.
Yeah, but you'd also be accepting to the now, because, like, with the job and things like that, but, like, if you're single and you're trying to call forth a beautiful relationship, but it doesn't happen, the universe isn't supporting that yet, you can't fall in, oh, I'm not deserving, or that, you know, you've got to just, oh, wow, I have got...
I guess it's just not my
this
time.
in my life, and, yes, I've got my health, I've got, you know, and when it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen, but if certain things don't come, that's what I had to learn. It's just, you know, it's this 4-year-old that wished for this and wished for that and got all the clues from mommy, then you open the present, it's a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, you got to be kidding me. No, wait, what? Check out YouTube. There's plenty of those videos, and you know, you just got to be satisfied with what you've got. So, for sure.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
it's really important to focus on, like sometimes clients that I'll see they'll not be in a relationship right now, and they're just like, you know, I really want to have love, I really want true love, and then we really tune in, I'm listening to their angels, and the angels are like, it's just really not about that right now. This is your time. Like, this is time for you to learn to love self. And once you understand this deeply, you will attract the more aligned relationships. If you're not in alignment and you're trying to race into another relationship, a lot of times you'll leave one actor in a movie that took advantage of you, hurt you, and you'll race right into a new actor, and you'll, hire a new actor that will continue to play that part because you didn't really heal anything vibrationally in yourself. So you just keep drawn in the same character, but just played by different, or the same energy played by different characters is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
So that time of inner reflection and healing is really important. And, you just got to trust the universe is working it out for you. And the more you do, it works out.
Exactly. Right on. And hey, thank you so much for your comments on that. That's good.
Thank you for calling, you little cutie.
You bet. Love you. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
All right,
so,
bye-bye.
yeah, if any of you would like to call in with a question or a situation, anything, bring it. It could be relationship, money, health, bring it. And I will totally tune in and assist in showing you what I mean by vibrational alignment. Do you see any other questions, Amnon, before I continue?
Nope. You go ahead.
Okay. So basically, when we get really simple with everything, with laws of attraction, is it's all vibrational. And we are very emotional beings, and our energy and our emotion changes like the clouds in the sky. And so part of the wisdom that is offered through a meditation practice is that you become aware of the consciousness that you are, that is observing the character that you're playing in this movie, like the life movie. So if you're too attached to your life situation, you can often lose track of the power that you have as the creator, the consciousness of the movie, the character. So I feel meditation is one of the most important aspects of a human's life if they wish to live with awareness. If you don't really care about that, continue to be busy and distracted, and don't go to yoga, don't do meditation, don't take time to be still and quiet the mind chatter. And you'll have a lot of what you already have: chaos, confusion, frustration, anxiety. It's just the truth. And so we can stop that madness by choosing a different path. If we are already stressed and frustrated, we're broke, we're insecure, we're wounded, our body's having issues in it, we have terrible relationships, we can look at that in our now and go, wow, I want to just keep running from this and try to get something else to fill this emptiness. Or we can look out of the eyes of that awareness, the consciousness can see the character we've identified with, and we can start to really look at that without an attachment, start to observe, okay, why am I allowing these relationships in my life? Why is it that I think I don't deserve to be paid for the work I do? Why is it that I continuously attract people that take advantage? Like, these are just examples. And this awareness is what's going to shift everything for you, because as you're tuning into these deeper questions, it helps you to really observe your choices. It helps you to observe the thoughts that you have about self. Okay, so I just attracted another person that takes advantage of me, that, doesn't tell me the truth. What's going on in me? Not, I'm going to blame them and, all men suck. Like, we could do that. We could turn it externally and just say, all men suck, or all women suck, or all anything sucks, is a totally out of alignment comment, because it's not that the stuff out there all sucks. It's that something inside of you is out of alignment and doesn't allow in the good, the higher vibrational energy experiences. So the more we are in that balanced place, we get into that equilibrium space of balance, we can start to call forth whatever we want. And at the same time, we learn to balance that with the universe's understanding of what we need. So I could want a Porsche 911, and the universe is like, yeah, but you really just need a car. And so you could have that, but big picture, we don't really feel it's going to be the best car for you, like energetically. So here's what is going to come in right now. At some point, maybe I'll still get that car if I really want it. But there is a balance to knowing what you need and what you want. Wanting can often come from an ego place. If I just want that Porsche because I want everyone to look at me and see how awesome I am and see that I'm better than they are. And this is a very internal thing that you have to get to know in yourself. then that's really not going to fulfill me. It's just going to be another way that I try to build myself up to be superior, to seem, worthy. Maybe people invite me to their party because I drive a Porsche. Maybe certain people will date me because I do. This is all very egoic, and it can seem really fun in the beginning, but big picture, does it fill that sense of I'm not good enough? Nope. Does getting $1 million fill it? Nope. I've met people that have gotten the money, people that have no money, and they both are stressed out and have anxiety about the future. So all these external things have nothing to do with your vibrational alignment. You have everything to do with that. Your energetic focus has everything to do with that. You could work at Burger King every day and go in there with gratitude that you have a job and that you're making your way in the world and that it's just going to get better and better. You're eager, you're optimistic, you're excited for the future of all the good opportunities that are coming. That is the best way to leave that space. If you're going into a place and you hate that you work at Burger King and you're embarrassed and you just are negative about it, then basically you're either going to stay stuck there or you're going to find a way that they just get rid of you altogether and you have no job, but that energy does not really serve you. So the swiftest way to leave a situation you're in, because I sense some of you watching you're in a situation you don't really love, is to start sending love to it. Maybe you're in a relationship and it's not showing you honor. Hold a space of love for yourself and a space of love for that person for teaching you what you really deserve, and move out of there with grace and ease, and move out of there with love. Instead of, I hate this person, we have to cause, each other suffering and pain and call each other names and hatred because we're too afraid to just acknowledge that it's time to release this energy from my life. So these are examples of how people can get very attached and stuck energetically, and it doesn't serve you. It keeps you in a lower vibration. So if you're a single mom and today you're struggling, you don't know where the next paycheck's coming from, and you're kind of overwhelmed and anxious, the best way to use your energy right now is not to go run in fear and just try to get a lot of jobs. It's to go and get quiet and tune into your inner soul's direction of where is the highest place for me and my children? Where is it that I will thrive? I am open. I am receptive to all the abundance, to all the good that I know I deserve. And then start watching when people do a favor for you. They help you out. Give honor and give gratitude for that. And that is going to lift you right out of that situation into a higher vibrational experience. So you being a participant in that is how fast you'll move higher. It's not about, is the universe think you're worthy? You are worthy. Every one of you listening today is absolutely worthy of every dream you have. What's going to bring it into alignment is you finding alignment. You choosing to be in a vibrational alignment of receiving your dream is the swiftest way to manifesting it. You choosing to think you're not worthy of that, or that at some level it's impossible, is you keeping it at bay. You're keeping it over there because at some level you don't feel you're really worthy. So you're not really letting it come in. I'll give you examples of I remember I was on my own, left my marriage of 20 years, and I'm renting a little room by the college, and it was kind of funny. You have to have a sense of humor. It helps in life. And I remember one day I'm just renting this room, and I'm living with all these free spirit hippie people, and I'm just sitting there and I'm just wow, it's like my life, I'm 19 years old again, and I'm just creating and starting fresh. And it was exactly like that. Now, I could have been in a very degrading place and been oh God, I suck, I failed, I didn't make that thing work, and what's everyone going to think of me? And I would have suffered, and I would have probably ended up going back to that relationship or just manifesting another one, because vibrationally I would have been focused on self-degrading, oh, I'm not worthy energy. But what happened is I left what I knew I didn't want, and I left it with love. I would have interactions with my ex, and if he was hateful, I would still stand my ground, but I would not participate. I would just not tolerate things, but hold a space of love. And as I just moved on out of there, and I'm in that room, I just realized this is my cocoon phase. I was the caterpillar, I'm moving into the cocoon, I'm losing all sense of identity, and the more gentle I am with myself, the more I love myself, and I'm grateful and I'm appreciative of everything I have. And I keep dreaming and I keep believing beautiful things are coming to me. This is where I quickly manifested my relationship with Ron, who called in. I remember the day I was going, I I left actually dating a guy, and didn't go so well. And he reminded me a lot of my ex-husband. And I was just like, I am done with this. I'm done with these relationships. And I am ready, angels. I'm ready for the one. I'm ready for the one who sees me, who loves me, who supports me for who I am. And I was out loud saying this in my car. Like, I talk to my angels like my best friends, and I'm expressing it. And so that night, I go to this gallery to teach a law of attraction workshop, and he's there. And we had known each other for years as acquaintances, but he's there, and he's just watching my workshop, interacting with it. And afterwards, he asked me to dinner, and the rest is history. We were together ever since then. And it was very swift, very quick from my calling it forth to it arriving. Now, that can happen, and sometimes it can be like his tank, where it takes a couple years. But what the point is that vibrationally, I knew what I was done with, and I knew what I was calling in. And so I was watching for it, and I was open to it, and I was ready for it. And like with this house we live in, with the healing room, and where I'm filming the show, this all came to me. I was teaching yoga in nature one day, and I went home and was journaling and just like, angels, I would love to have a house with a healing room, with a yoga studio. I would love to lead workshops, all this stuff in my own sacred space. And I would love to live in a place where I have views of nature. We have gorgeous views of nature. Everything I asked for is in this house. And this house, I ended up walking in 2 days after writing that in my journal with a friend to pick up her laundry here, and it was an empty house. So my point is that when you're in the trusting, the universe is supporting me energy, it's not always logical. I didn't go get a rental magazine and start calling realtors and try to figure out how I'm going to go build this house. I could have done it that way, but I just said, universe, this is what I want, and I trust that you know exactly the best location and you're going to work it out for me. Take care of the details. So I just put in my order, and then I let the universe take care of the big picture details. And 2 days later, I'm standing in this house. Now, the point I want to make with this is, as I was standing in this house and it's empty, I'm walking around the house and I'm just like, oh my God, what's up with this house? And my friend was like, oh, they're trying to rent it. It's been sitting empty. And I just immediately started walking around the house and claiming this house. I was like, this is my house. Angels, thank you for taking care of the details. Like, this is it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm just walking around, just calling in the gratitude. I remember seeing carpet and linoleum in the dining area where I wanted to have a yoga studio, and I was like, that'll be wood floors. And I was just like very confidently calling it forth and claiming it. And what I have done in the past when I wasn't in a place of self-worth is, I remember once leaving my relationship and just the dream that I could live on my own. And I remember going and looking at houses and being like, oh, but I can't afford it, and this is so expensive, and I don't know if I could have it. So energetically, none of it came towards me. And that's the point I want to make for each of you watching, is that if you're putting out this energy and intention, and then when it shows up, you say, oh, it's too expensive, it's too much, I can't afford it, I don't know, I'm not worthy, you're sending it back into orbit, into the universe. But if it comes in, and some people will say you're cocky, or who does she think she is? I know who I am. I'm a powerful freaking creator. And the more you guys realize that you are powerful creators and creatresses, the more you are not going to walk in and kind of wish and hope. You're going to call it in, and when it comes, you're going to claim it and say, yep, that's for me. Ron said that with me when he met me. He just was like, I was like, why did you know? Because he asked me to marry him 9 days into us dating, which is pretty fast. And it blew my mind that I said yes, because I was pretty sure I'd never get married again. And I was like, how did you know that you wanted to marry me that quick? And he was just like, I just knew like how you are and how amazing that, oh my God, like this is what I want, and I am not letting this get away. And so he could have had doubt and a little bit of maybe I'm not worthy going on unconsciously, but in his conscious awareness, he was like, I'm going to say yes to this, and we'll just figure it out, and we'll heal that unconscious part. So it's kind of like me seeing this house and saying, I'm going to have that house, I'm going to claim it, and we're going to figure out how to pay the mortgage and all that eventually. Like, I don't need to get caught up in those details right now. I'm just going to energetically, vibrationally claim this. And so I want you to get that part, that a lot of you get things coming in close, and it's like you get the fish on the hook and you're pulling it in, and then you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm worthy of the fish. I don't know. And then you let the fish go. And then instead of realizing you let the fish go, You go into inner dialogue and say how much you suck and, oh, I knew I wasn't worthy. I knew I wasn't enough. And this is what we have to shift if you really want to become a powerful creator. It doesn't matter what you're creating. There's no rules. There are infinite possibilities. Doesn't matter if it's health related, career related, relationships, money, all of it is all operating under the same laws of the universe with the laws of attraction. So what you're putting out, you're vibrationally drawing in all the time. So that's what I want you to really get is where you're maybe glitching yourself, where you might be sabotaging or tripping yourselves energetically, and to claim ownership and realize no one is out to get you. Nobody is your enemy. You are probably your own worst enemy. And if you can start being more aware of your own dialogue, more aware of your own inner woundedness so that you can heal that and open yourself to receive, I promise you miracles will come in. I witness miracles daily now. It is my normal, where there was a time where I wished and prayed for a miracle of any kind, and I probably wasn't noticing lots of them because I was focused on what I didn't have. And now I'm constantly focused on what I love, what's beautiful, what's working out, what I adore, and I witness and co-create miracles daily. So I just want to help all of you really understand that. So I'm going to pause, and is there any other feedback or anything?
Yeah, and we're having a bunch of electric problems
Oh,
here. So
are you getting a lightning storm?
I don't hear or see it, but the power keeps going up and down on one. Don't worry about it now. But
Okay.
somebody here says, what should one do to prepare for an angel reading or soul coaching session?
What should you do to prepare?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question. Because a lot of times when I talk to people that don't know what I do at all, they're like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but some part of me feels like I should come work with you. The first thing that I encourage them to do is to just meditate a little bit before we meet. And even if they don't know what I mean by meditate, just get quiet with yourself, go in nature, go in your room, shut the door, get your journal out, and just kind of tune into what is it that I'm ready to clear from my life? What is it that I know is not working out and I'm ready to release it? And then what is it that I'm consciously or unconsciously ready to call in? And so sometimes if they're unconscious about it, I can help tune in and help them get that. And even especially if it's the stuff they're wanting to clear, sometimes we're not conscious of all of it because we are so amazing at tucking things down and not dealing with them that we totally can lose track of how much we've really suppressed. So I encourage them to do that. But even if they've not done that work and they come see me, the most important thing is that they come open, that they come with an open mind, an open heart, and an openness to receive. If they are totally just like, this isn't going to work, I don't believe in any of this, they're just a naysayer, I could send the energy and I can still assist them, and they will experience some kind of a vibrational shift. But if they're blocking the flow of that good and they wish to cling to that land of suffering, it won't really get through in the way that it would if they came in really open and receptive. It's kind of like you're giving advice to a friend that you love and you want them to hear that advice, and the more open they are to hearing and to shifting because they know something needs to change, it's going to help them more than if you're giving that advice to someone who absolutely does not want to heal. They actually like their suffering. They're getting something from being a victim. That's an example. So getting to kind of tune into what's going on in them and then helping them to realize, what do I want to embody? What do I want to call forth and embody? And to kind of get a sense of what that is. And then they just come, and if they're in person, they come lay on my healing table, and I just kind of guide them into a meditation. They connect with their breath, and the angels kind of, a lot of clients say they feel like they're being put under anesthesia. It's like they go down, and their bodies are in the third dimensional space, but we're working in the sixth dimensional space with healing. So everything's very vibrational. So a lot of times I'll encourage them to drink water before to hydrate, and then I'll give them water right after because we burn off a lot of water in that space. So that's the main things I would encourage a client. If it's a remote client, same thing. I'll encourage them to hydrate, to tune into their intention, and then just to lay down and relax, to open to receive. And so whether they're in person or remote, I can assist them because we're all connected on this big grid, energetic grid. And so I've had clients in New Jersey, I've had clients in Texas, in Arizona, in Canada. I've had clients all over the place and that have had amazing shifts during a session, healing arthritis in a session. No joke. And I've had clients like dissolve tumors in a session, clients that have been so out of balance emotionally that at the end of our session, 2 to 3 hours later, they are laughing and they're like, oh my God, I'm so excited for my life. Like everything's going to be different now. There's a shift of their perspective. So the more open you come, whether you're in my healing room or you're in your bedroom receiving an assistance, receiving assistance from us, it's powerful. And so your being open is the most important part of it, because it's like I could try to water you and give you some water from the hose, you know, because you're thirsty. But if you come and pinch the hose, it's not going to work so good. So the more open you are and being receptive, the more nurturing and more assistance and energetic streaming you get. With soul coaching, I kind of similar tune into the client's need. Like, what are they wanting to look at in their life? Is it a career thing? Is it family? And then I just tune in intuitively and I start listening for messages just like I would in a clearing, but it's sometimes more focused towards some kind of certain conscious thing they want to create. Like when I've done soul coaching, a lot of times it's they want to just be more empowered in their business, or they want to have more free time with their family and they're working too hard. And so we'll tune into like how they can balance that. And as a soul coach, life coach, I help them look at that mind, body, spirit wholeness so that they really can see where they're out of alignment, where they're out of balance, and how it's affecting them so that they can choose and claim where they need to have that balance. So that's a good question. Thank you for asking that. And hopefully that helps some of you that might be on the fence that are like, I kind of am curious about working with Tawnya, but maybe I don't understand. And call me. I don't know if my phone number is not up there, but I'll just say it. It's for anybody that's maybe far away, it's 360-567-7576. And you can find any of my info on my TanyaAngel555.com website. So I encourage you to go there, send me an email, call me. I had a client the other day that called me and she was asking me questions and she's like, I'm sorry if I'm asking too many questions. I just really, and she's like struggling on what to say. And I was like, what they're telling me is that you've been taken advantage of by many humans. And so you're very guarded about this. And that's actually a good thing, but don't be so guarded that you don't open yourself, but also tune into my vibration and what do you feel? And she was like, whoa. Like, wow, I didn't really expect you to say that. And she was really tuning in. She's like, well, what I feel is that I can trust you. And I feel like I was actually really drawn to you, like in a random way, which I would call synchronicity. But to her, she's still learning about this. So she called it random. And she felt that trust. But at the same time, she's a little guarded. And then the angels told me she's gone to psychics and different people who have lied to her and misled her. And I told her that. And she was like, oh my God, like that's totally true. So even in a phone call, people can really get a feeling with me, and even watching the show, you get a sense. So tune into my vibration. I really am here to empower every individual I connect with. So there's no codependency here. I'm not going to try to feed you stuff and convince you of things. I'm not going to make things up. It's all listening and getting messages and giving them to you, and it's nothing about me. I'm just very receptive and open. But calling me if you're curious is empowering, because this woman was on the fence. She's on Facebook, following me, watching me, and finally she called me and was like, I have questions. And we talked probably for an hour, and I just give clients this time, and I'm not afraid to answer your questions. So if you guys want to call in on this show, please call in. Don't be afraid to. If you want to get my number and call me privately, do that. And then if you want to receive a healing remotely or in person if you're in my area, let's set it up. And I promise you nothing but good is waiting for you. So hope that answers that question. And is there any other questions, Amnon?
Nope.
Okay. So I'm going to read you guys a couple things connected to Law of Attraction, my favorite book, Getting into the Vortex, which I've shared so many times. And today I was like, Source, what do you have for them? Open to this page. So this is pretty spot on. And I want you to, if you're open to it and you're not driving, to just sit back and close your eyes and really open your mind, open your heart, open your energy to really receive this message as if the entire universal support system that is there helping you was speaking through me, Tawnya, to you to help you understand this. Okay? So just kind of close your eyes and open. While your life will continue to call more abundance to you, the majority of the work is already done. And now, with far less effort than you have been believing, your financial condition is about to improve. Without realizing it, you have been sifting through the experience of your life and summoning unspeakable abundant resources to your vortex, where they remain waiting for your alignment with them. This abundance has been defined and refined by you and cannot be kept from you or taken from you. It remains as your creation and can be claimed only by you. Your abundance that is banked in your vortex of creation will continue to expand because your life will continue to call more abundance through you. If it ever feels to you as if you have come to the end of the resources that you have set aside, it will not be because you have reached the end, but simply because you are depriving yourself of what is there. So really feel that. Like if you think there's not enough of something, it's not because there's not, it's because you're depriving yourself. For there is no ending to the resources of the vortex. Or the way I look at it, there's no end to the resources of the universe, the source energy support system. The process of life assures that. With every listening to our guided meditation on financial abundance, your resistance will become less and your allowing will become more. Until one day you will read the words that are written upon this page and you will understand, without question, the true worthiness of your being. So maybe right now you're not feeling worthy, and that's okay. Have the awareness to be honest about that, and then have the wisdom to tune in to healing that, to face that today. That's your number one thing to focus on. That is your priority. It is nothing else external. To focus and face that feeling of unworthiness, number one priority. From that shift, everything shifts. I have seen amazing transformations with clients that come in one state, sick, drug addicts, lost, confused, got broke up with, just lost their marriage, lost a life partner, they're sick in their physical body, financially broke, and then watch them over a course of a few months after having a clearing, shifting, amazing relationships, healthy body, bringing in more money, living life authentically, and so excited. So it's like, I kind of look at myself like a bridge keeper, and I'm standing on that bridge, and I'm guiding you from this 5th sensory misaligned life to cross this bridge over to the 6th sensory way of living, living with truth, living with integrity, living with trust. This is our natural state. This is what we were created to be. But this over here that we're used to is what's been conditioned. We've been trained to be in lack. We've been trained to be in fear. We've been trained to be in conflict. And it's not our natural state. And it doesn't even feel natural. It feels terrible. But so many of us have become identified, and we identify ourselves with this place, knowing it sucks, knowing it's terrible, but we are afraid to cross that bridge. And I'm here as an aligned, loving, listening bridge keeper to guide you and nudge you, whether it's through a workshop or a healing session or a yoga class, an art class. The intention of my soul is to help lift you and guide you across that bridge to this amazing space that you deserve and are completely worthy of. So really feel that feeling of being truly worthy without question. You will stand in complete acceptance of your value, offering no resistance whatsoever to the evidence of your value. So think about that energetically. If you're feeling you're not worthy, at some level you're offering resistance. You're in a relationship, but you don't really trust that they may hurt you. And so rather than being open to love, you're guarded in fear that they're going to hurt you. You're creating resistance. That resistance in the big picture will start to sabotage that very offering that came in to assist you. So the less resistance you offer, the more you open up and allow, the more you experience miracles and shifts. You will feel no discomfort as the blessings of abundance and well-being shower down around you, indicating your alignment with the worthy being that you truly are. It is not possible for you to achieve vibrational alignment with the abundance of your vortex without the manifestational evidence of that abundance showing up. So if you're in alignment, you know it because your abundance is there. It's coming in. If you're in alignment, you know it because that relationship you wanted, it's here and you're loving it. You cannot deny that you're in alignment. And if you're out of alignment, you know it because you're struggling in some way. You're suffering, you're in fear, you're in anxiety. Great to catch that with awareness. No need to judge. Catch it and choose to step back into alignment. Choose to come back to receiving and to knowing your worth. Always a better choice. Let's see. Others around you will undoubtedly see evidence of your abundance, but you will know that what they are truly seeing is really the evidence of your alignment. So it's not that the others are seeing that you have everything going for you because you're lucky or because you were born in a certain family. What they're really watching and witnessing, whether they're conscious or not, is your alignment. They are like, wow, she says she wants to do something, she does it. She calls this forth, it comes. How is she doing that? I've had clients ask me that, like, how do you do this? How do you get these things to happen? And they're seeing that alignment, and that's what I'm here to teach. If you think about it, how many shows have we done where it comes back to vibrational alignment? Because this is the core chunk, the nugget that is really important for each of our lives. Do I have a minute to read a card I drew?
Yeah, let's do it. Real
Okay.
quick.
Okay, so I chose an angel card today for the show for all of you, and the message is from Archangel Gabriel, the Empress card, and on the card it says, lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. And this is what the card looks like. Hopefully you guys can see that. And the message is, your creativity and hard work are bringing you great rewards, according to this card. You have the Midas touch right now, so anything you nurture and give your loving attention to will flourish. Marriage, children, and issues involving motherhood and creativity are positively affected for you at this time. Whether you're trying to give birth to a child, nurture life into plants or pets, or to help a new project or business grow, your creative endeavors will be successful. Enjoy the beautiful things in your life, knowing that you deserve to be wonderfully provided for. Take excellent care of your body with massage, yoga, or anything that makes you feel healthy, vibrant, and luxurious. So self-love. Additional meanings of this card are abundance, spending time in nature, indulging in creative and artistic projects, loving and nurturing yourself and others, and a time of excellent emotional or physical health. So call upon Archangel Gabriel to inspire your creative ideas and to give you the courage and the opportunities to express them. And I think it's funny that I drew this card because in just the last couple days, I've gone hiking every day, spent time in nature, indulging in creative and artistic projects. I taught a vision board workshop yesterday where we were creating a vision board with our artsy self, loving and nurturing yourself and others. Totally doing that. Been doing yoga, teaching yoga teacher trainings. So for me, it's just spot on. And for you, if that feels spot on, keep doing that. Keep going in that flow of alignment. And if it doesn't feel like it's your experience right now, know that that's the message, is to call on Archangel Gabriel for assistance and to start really looking at what you love and giving honor for all that you do have. Look at myself not as someone like, oh, she's got it all and I don't, I hate her, because we can do that to people. Instead, go, whoa, Tanya's got some stuff figured out. Look at what she's doing in her life. I'm not going to be jealous of her. I'm going to tune into her and I'm going to pay attention and see that she is mirroring to me all the goodness I deserve. If she's got an amazing relationship, I don't need to be jealous of that and feel like there's not enough. I can go, whoa, I want a relationship like she has, and I'm going to open myself to receive it because I'm worthy. If she's got something going good and she has a nice house and I want a nice house, she's mirroring that to me. So a lot of times I kind of help people see this because when we're out of alignment, we look at each other with jealousy and insecurity, and then we're like, oh, she got the role and I didn't, there's not enough. Or, oh, look at, she's got that and I don't. Or he gets to have that and I don't. And we really are coming from that lackful consciousness. So really look at everything in your movie that you want and love. When it gets close, celebrate it and give honor. If you want to have your body in a certain shape and somebody walks by and they're in awesome shape, pay attention, talk to them. What are you doing? Tell me about your life. What do you eat? What is your inner dialogue? Like, what do you think about yourself? Pay attention to the ones that are there mirroring to you what you want instead of hating them, which creates separation and resistance. Reel them in closer. The healers, the teachers, the ones shining, don't be intimidated by their shine. Get closer to that light and ask questions. Tune into it. Lean into that and watch how it starts to transform you into that experience. So that's all we got for today, and we just went a minute over, so that was pretty awesome. So I thank you all for connecting, and thank you, Ron, for taking the time to call in, and Amnon for sharing your story, even though I put you on the spot. And I appreciate all of you so much, and I am so proud of all of you that have actually called me and have done the inner healing work, and I just send you love, love, love on your journey, and thank you so much for taking time to connect with us today. Namaste.
Tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Brook, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, The Tawnya Love Show, Reawaken Your Brilliance with Julie Seibert, and if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals. ThatVidBlasterGuy.com, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.